welcome back to Citizens of the Frontier. This is our second of our player interviews with James, and we're going to get to know James a little bit. And again, this is out on YouTube, but for our Patreon supporters, stay tuned after the video. There's going to be a whole nother section where we get to know him. We get to know the more nerdy side of James as we get into our sci-fi discussion questions after the main discussion.
It's
so
nerdy. It's adult.
Well, depending on your answers, I don't know. Okay, so let's start with please introduce yourself. What's your name?
My name is James. If you want to know, last name Sugrue.
I did want to know how to pronounce that. I thought it was Sugrue.
Hard to pronounce, easy to spell, looks nothing like it sounds.
What is the ethnicity? Where is Sugrue from?
Okay, so and I found this out from a Time Life book on the Vikings, to which I own now.
So it's it's a Scandinavian name.
It is a Irish bastardization of a Scandinavian name.
An Irish bastardization of that is. I'm always interested in where names come from.
So Sugrue is the Irish bastardization of basically like Sigurd's son or Sigurd's son.
Okay.
And the name itself is one of the footprints that the Vikings left, or the Norse left, on Ireland. And with the founding of Dublin and Limerick and so forth. So I'm sort of a walking fossil.
Gotcha. Okay, and speaking of walking fossil, how old are you?
I'm 51. Coming up on 52 far too soon.
Yeah. Hey, look, you're playing Star Frontier, so we didn't know you were. We knew you weren't 25. Okay. And where are you located on this fine blue planet of Earth?
At the moment, I'm in Connecticut. So we'll just go right to I am a travel sterile processing technician.
Okay, so that's what you do for a living.
Yeah, I figured I'd go to this because my location is going to change a lot. I travel from hospital to hospital where there's a need. I work a contract. Maybe I stay longer, maybe I don't. It all depends. It's just what it is.
And with all that traveling,
technically I live in North Carolina, but I travel all over the place for work.
Okay, technically North Carolina, currently Connecticut. You have no idea where you'll be next month.
Oh no, I'm here until beginning of March.
Beginning of March. And with all this traveling, what is your family status?
My family status is single.
Single, no children.
Correct.
That you know about. Are you fairly certain?
I'm going to say I'm positive on that one.
Positive.
Since this is going out to the public.
Good for you. So, any children of James out there, he doesn't know. It's not his fault.
I was told that I have two Chinese children named after me, but I was amazed by that one. A friend of mine went and was an interpreter over in China. One to learn better Mandarin and to work and so forth. And you have to give all the kids English or an American English name.
So they learn, I guess.
Right. But he actually named two of the children after a character I ran in Pathfinder called Half-Bad the Sailor, who was a halfling sailor.
Gotcha. Okay. And again, for the audience at home and my bad memory, although I'm pretty sure you're part of my New England crew, my Connecticut, Vermont convention crew.
Only in the sense that I was up this way about 2-3 years ago.
Okay, so how do we know?
I've been up here. We met behind the dumpster at Connecticut.
Behind the dumpster at Connecticut, literally behind a dumpster.
In my viewpoint, yes. In your viewpoint, probably not. I just remember going to Connecticut, finding out that it was a major cosplay event.
Yes,
and to which I did not know at that point. and I was looking for gaming, and someone said, "Oh yeah, there's gaming," and I had to like leave the hotel, go across to another hotel, go around behind a dumpster, enter a place, go, and then find the gaming.
So
And
that I think they only did that or maybe 2 years in the time I've been going, that they had gaming in another building. So I can narrow it down to 1 or 2 years. Do you remember what we played?
Call of Cthulhu. It was in the Caribbean, and
Okay.
it was The Missing Husband.
You were the guys who said, "Screw you guys, I'm going home." Were you the only
Yes.
survivor? Now I remember you. Smartest man at that convention. He goes, "Look, we found the party. We found the missing person. We know there's a dangerous monster in there. We were hired to find the missing person. No one asked us to get rid of the dangerous monster. So, screw you guys. I'm going home." In my gaming memory, you are you're my Cartman. And you were the only survivor. Everyone else died. Everyone else who went after the monster died, and you lived. So,
which, just as a note for people at home, this is why I really love that adventure. And when I saw Oscar again at Carnage, I said, "Did you ever publish that?" And he said, "Yes, it's over here." And I bought it.
Yeah. That's a fun adventure. That's a... Oh, let me not say that. That sounds really egotistical. I have a really good time running that when I run it.
I have a really good time running it when I run it. I've only run it at a con once, and they all said I had a table of Cartmans.
We're not even looking for the guy. We're taking the money and we're going to the bar.
Yeah, exactly. Men, women, children, they all just said, I ain't going in them woods.
That's a huge problem with Call of Cthulhu. If you really hammer home the mood and the threat level, nobody wants to fight the monster at all. If you really play up how scary one ghoul is,
yeah,
nobody will want to fight it. So
correct. It's the anti D&D.
Right.
You find the monster and then avoid it like
the plague. Yeah. Okay. So what's your experience with Star Frontiers?
I can spell it.
You've never played?
No, I played once back in the 80s. We messed around with it. Preferred Gamma World better. Went back to Traveler. It just, I don't know whether it was layout or whatever. We just had different tastes, and so I didn't really play it that much.
So why'd you jump on my game?
Because first off, you said, "I'm looking for a bunch of grognards," and I went, "Oh yeah, I qualify now." And I think I'm the oldest one at the table at the moment.
Not by much. I'm
not by much, but it means I definitely qualify as a grognard. And I was like, "You ran that that fun game," and I was like, "Yeah, I'll play another one of Oscar's game." And oh, by the way, people at home, there was no mention of YouTube. There was no mention of a series. It was just, "Hey, I need some old dudes to play Star Frontiers." It's like, "Yeah, I'll play Star Frontiers. I'm bored right now." Oh, this is
I got really bored. I got really bored, and it really started to balloon out of my... See, I'm very stressed with Call of Cthulhu because I do it professionally. I'm a publisher and an author, and I've got teams that I'm overseeing. So when I'm, as a way to kind of cleanse my palate, I want to be stressed about a whole nother type of fiction.
I totally understand that.
I'm cursed with not being able to sit still for very long. And honestly, this is fun. This is just goofing around.
Yeah.
The fact that it became a YouTube channel with a Patreon.
Which, once again, for those at home, we weren't consulted on this. We were just informed on this. And then he was like, "Oh, by the way, we need to do interviews. When can I talk to you?" Oh!
I didn't say we needed to. I said I'd like to. If somebody wanted to bow out of the interviews, they had every right to do that. I actually, that's a big failing of mine. I always feel like my ideas are so cool. Everybody's going to want to play the games that I play.
Well, let's
And honestly, it works better than it doesn't, because I do have I do run games quite a bit, and I've made a name for myself. But it does piss a lot of people off sometimes, so I do apologize for that.
So, for the people at home, what Oscar is saying is that he has an energy about him. The man gets up at like 4:00 in the morning, doesn't go to sleep until 2:00 at night.
No, actually, I'm usually asleep by 9 p.m. Because I get up at like
he
4
does
or
all
5 in
these
the morning.
projects, does all this side quest stuff in real life, let alone in the gaming world, and then he, drags people along with him. So what we're all doing is we're just really along for the ride to see where it goes, and it's a blast.
Hey, look, some of the people I've dragged along with me have won Ennies, so So yeah, I do drag you, but I usually drag people to an okay place. I'm not. We're not going through hell.
You don't. As far as I can tell from the background, you don't live in a van down by the river. I feel safe.
Okay. So that's enough about me. This is your interview, not mine. Okay, so tell us a little bit about your character, and you've got to start with the name.
Oh, okay. So I'm playing in a what am I playing?
An Osakar.
Osakar, which is a barrel-shaped multi-limb plant thing, creature. Neither male,
about 10 feet tall.
Neither male, neither female. And I'm an organic player, so like I suck at all the homework parts of a game. So all those games that say, okay, we're going into a campaign. Create your backstory, how it ties into into that campaign. Okay, I get a D. Because until I get the tone of the table, I just don't. I got nothing. So, but I do try to at least put some things into it. So, an Osakar, excuse me, an Osakar is a natural linguistics master. I start with the Osakarian language,
and like 4 or 5 others, I think.
I start with Pangalactic, and I start with 4 other languages. So I could have taken linguistic as a background, decided not to because that would have been easy and not challenging. So I went with medic with robotics in the military. So I'm a corpsman who, basically is there to save your life and has robotic help to do so, since it is the far future. Right. I am. Osakar are very individualistic, so needed a hat, so I have a very bright red fez with tassel, gold. And I have a penchant for Hawaiian shirts with some sort of medical theme, usually ortho-based, meaning bones, skulls, that sort of thing. But still vibrant.
So now we're going to get easy to spot at the bar.
Yes. And now we're going to go to the name Finknottle Fish. So I had run across a meme years ago on the internet about fish being spelled Goti. And I'll send you that meme so you can post it with this or something. But anyway, it breaks down how Ghoti is pronounced fish. Now, the Finknottle I stole from PG Woodhouse. Basically, I decided to take Finknottle, the expert on newts from Worcester and Jeeves, or Jeeves and Worcester, and messed with the name a little bit to make it look like it does at the bottom of the screen right now. And Finknottle Fish just fit. It sounded like someone who would wear a Hawaiian shirt and a fez.
And there aren't a lot of Osakar characters in the fiction, and I don't think there's ever been a published module with an Osakar. But from now on, like whenever I think of Osakar names, they're going to be like that. So for me, that's a very traditional Osakar name, even if it wasn't before.
So all I can say as a grognard, that warms my heart because I'm finally setting a trend in the
Yes.
in the hobby I love.
Okay. So that brings us to the end of our YouTube YouTube interview.
Okay.
For patrons, please stay tuned. We're going to have some more information. We're going to get to know James a little bit better. If you want to check out our Patreon, the link will be in the show notes. We have lots of different levels you could join at. You'll have access to the full video and lots of other goodies there. We'd like to thank our patron, Jim Berrier, who backed that original settler. So thanks, Jim. And Star Frontiers is alive and well. So if you are interested in the game or getting back into the game and want to see what's the latest in Star Frontiers, check out Frontier Explorer magazine. It's a free fanzine. You pay what you want for the download, but they have physical copies available on drive-through. So if you want a printed magazine, you can get one. We have the links to Frontier Explorer and their channel on drive-through in the show notes. So for all our YouTube audience, thank you for joining us. Stay safe, and we'll see you next time. Thank you for tuning in. And we'll give that a little